Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Most women were imprinted by men with athletic bodies. Yeah, y'all. Most women. Now, understand something. Y'all know I've talked about the imprint. Y'all know I talked about the imprint. And now the imprint, please understand just real quick, the imprint, just for those who might not have heard it or for those who just needed a reminder, that's the first 2 or 3 men that the womb imprint is the first 2 or 3 men that a woman physically had sex with, physically had intercourse with, like penis went into vagina, that type of thing, right? And most women are imprinted as teenagers. Most women, and this is a global thing, and this ain't limited to one racial or nationality. This is global, and that's most women. Of course, you're going to have some women, they might not be imprinted until their 20s or even 30s. And I recall one young lady, well, young to me, who wasn't. I don't even know if she's been imprinted yet, and she's in her 40s. All right, but whatever the case, the thing to understand about the imprint is both a psychological imprint. Like the men who imprint her, she subconsciously creates a composite of their personality traits, both good and bad. But also, it's a very physical thing. It's a very physical thing, all right? So she also creates a composite of their body types. Now, I'm always talking about the body game, but if we start connecting it, everything starts making sense. Because let's be real on something. Let's be real. Who are the guys who, especially as teenagers, especially in westernized cultures, who's the guys getting the sex first? Now, I know some people say it's Pookie and Ray Ray or, whatever term they use in the white community, Hispanic community, Asian community for bad boy. Let's say bad boys in general, right? All right, and they looking at the guy's personality traits. Okay, but understand something. I've talked about this before. Women, girls, especially when they just hit puberty, they ain't looking at somebody's economic potential or how smart they are or, how much money they got, or at least they don't really need it. Guys might can buy them some, and they might cater to that. But if you're going to be honest, their thing is a strong drive, a strong desire to have a baby, to be impregnated. That's what's causing them. This is strongest when a woman has puberty. Everything, their hormones change and everything. In fact, in many indigenous cultures, that's when the girls were having the babies anyway, because that's why they're at the strongest. They want the best physical specimens then, right? They want the best, and they're going to have a strong attraction for that. See, a lot of guys make the mistake of it, thinking, oh, it's the personality traits. No, it's just that the physical specimens that they have sex with initially just happen to have certain personality traits. And there have been cases where they would, it'd be a physical specimen like a jock, something like that, and they have good traits. They have good traits. It's usually like when the cheerleader, head cheerleader or whoever the head diva is in the school, right? The queen bee, shout out cousin T-Taw, hooks up with the star quarterback or the star basketball player, right? They the ones who get it most. Yeah, you get some of the like popular guys. Now, if that bad boy come in there, let's be real, a lot of bad boys playing ball in high school. That's the only time they act up because the coaches look the other way as long as these kids can win. Seriously, it never fails. It never fails, If that kid's in school, he a bad boy, but he can run that ball or throw that ball, catch that ball, or tackle some people real well. Shoot, they be like, they get them on the team, and it's just a reality. That's just a reality. There's a lot of overlap between the bad boys and the jocks. So but let's get back to them being imprinted. Okay, so the woman, they get imprinted by 2 or 3 jocks or something. That's what they're gonna look for. It's not just see a lot of people, like I said, a lot of guys think they've heard about the imprint and they say, yeah, that guy was bad, and they'll look at the guy's personality and say, well, yeah, I gotta be a bad guy just like that. It's like, no, you better have a body just like that too. Because I'm gonna tell you what, and I said when I first learned about the imprint, and I started talking with some women about it, interviewing them and everything, I was specifically asked, oh, what was his body build? And I still do it to this day. Whenever I have any female coaching clients or some ladies I'm just talking to in general. I always ask about, oh, how is he built? You know? Because that's going to set the tone right there. Now, think about it. I'm talking about the body game. The more athletic you are, because really, if you really look at it, the guys who get the most attention have the most athletic bodies. They ain't even necessarily like, alpha showpieces, super muscles and all of that, but athletic. And I mean, come on, if you in any neighborhood where, we got this virus now, so you ain't gonna see it until this lifts. But you go in any neighborhood watching like some basketball or like street ball, they just playing on a court or something. There's always some girls just checking them out. Always. In fact, in high school and stuff, a lot of these girls be going to the games just checking out the bodies. Even in the pros, a lot of times they ain't so much interested in the sport as they are in the body. That's why, it's amazing, just as a tangent. Nobody's talking about how jocks be getting the attention from women. But it's the body. And since they were imprinted with that type of guy, that's who they always going to look for. Now, you do get situations where they might settle for somebody who don't have that type of body. Notice the word I said, settle. Notice I said the word settle. They'll settle. And, they'll deal with them, especially if they don't have as many options. But then as soon as that guy come up who matches that imprint, got that athletic body, boom. I've seen the changes. And that's because that's where they were imprinted. That started it out. And plus, those guys going to be the more aggressive about getting women and stuff. And they probably, especially if they play ball or something like that, they in a position where the women can constantly sit there and check them out. And and then they popular too. So you got that popular thing in there as well. Boom. But that's the main thing. And so it's like they stick with that. They want that. You got, first that just inner drive to get that type of male because the best shape, best body as a young person. And then they actually have sex with the guys. Like the personalities could be whatever. All right. But then they still drawing that in. And then it's like, okay, in life, they still looking for that. That's a big reason why even women, they can be older women looking for that. That's a big reason why a lot of these teachers go for these students because, these boy students. And if they really, whenever you get someone convicted, because the young man was underage and stuff, they don't say anything about him, but it's usually the jocks. So if it's not the jocks, someone with a, very good body or something. But they were, and that's even if the woman's older or something. And that's the important thing. And, like I said, that taps into the body game. So it's something always to consider. We got one of the things out here, and I'm going to really be emphasizing this more. A lot of times men, we're thinking too hard about this stuff. Women ain't that deep. Everybody be thinking all this other stuff, but the women just going for a certain type. Even if the woman don't consciously know it. She might even consciously fight it because of just some negative experiences with it, but she still see that type. She imprinted, she gonna automatically start getting wet with that guy. And I ain't to say somebody who don't match that imprint can't get with her. You just know what type of ghost that you're dealing with. So, anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.